There is a flash, no fanfare, no ceremony. One moment I do not exist, the next I am standing on polished marble, blinking beneath a pale false sky. My name is Zehris. I am Erudite, scholar, enchanter, artisan of the arcane in all things elusive. From the moment I opened my eyes, I understood the architecture of thought. I could recall the 7 tiers of mental manipulation. I knew 14 languages, including, bafflingly, one used exclusively by frogs. And yet, something was wrong. The city I stand in, it's beautiful but empty, sterile, as though it were built to impress, not to function. I see no children, no aging, no wear upon the stones. The people speak but never listen. They say the same words over and over, no matter what I do. One even welcomed me twice after I stood on his table and set it on fire. They did not react. They never do. It's as if I stand upon a stage painted and propped, where no other soul knows the play. Or perhaps they are only actors with one line each, cursed to repeat their cue until the end of time. I do not know where I am, or why I exist, but I intend to find out. Time passes, and yet strangely I do not find myself hungry or tired. In fact, I seem incapable of sleep altogether. And though I breathe, the act seems almost ornamental. Look at them. They do not blink. They just stare, boring a hole into my being. It's disconcerting. Most do not even walk. I wonder, do they even think? They just stand in the same spot, day after day, reciting the same phrases like poorly animated wind-up toys. Observe this one, a city guard. Theoretically a sworn defender of order and justice. I've thrown spoiled fruit at him. I've cast spells in his shadow. I've dropped a fish at his feet. Everything short of direct violence to his person. And nothing. No reaction to any action I take. Either I'm in a society entirely devoid of social contracts, or these people are not really people at all. I have visited many structures which look like they could be homes, but not a single one contains even a bed. I began keeping a journal of my observations, a catalog of repetition, stillness, and unresolved questions. Once, I believed that I lived among scholars. I believed I was birthed into a society of logic and truth. But now I feel that I am surrounded by only echoes, stiff phantoms bound to their posts by some unseen hand. What sort of world is this, where the wind never changes and the people do not move unless spoken to? Who built this place, and why did they build it so poorly? It's a curious thing, this ceremony of recognition. I bring a letter signed by hands I've never seen to a man who appears to have not moved in 1,000 years. Yes, you've been expecting me. Have you, though? Or are you merely cycling through the same dramatic platitudes like a well-dressed wind-up toy? Well, I am now officially an enchanter, sanctioned, recognized, accepted into the hallowed order, and yet not one of them even deigned to ask me a single question. Not one of them even acknowledged my existence beyond the letter that I handed to them. This is not a school, it's a facade, a prop in a theater no one remembers writing. Well, off to adventuring, I suppose. Beyond the gates of the city lies Toxxulia Forest, a name which, I assume, sounded much more intimidating on paper. Here the wild things roam. Animals, vaguely. Skeletons, inexplicably. All hostile, all irrationally aggressive. I have studied the mind, I have glimpsed the layers of consciousness, and yet here I am, furiously slapping a skeleton with a rusty letter opener. Joy of joys. Toxxulia is a forest, yes, but one curated with alarming intent. Each creature appears precisely where it died the day before, as though governed by an unseen schedule. I've slain this creature 3 times. It returns without memory, without rage. Does it serve willingly, or is it compelled? Afterwards, the corpses just vanish. No decay, no scavengers, no trace. The world is efficient to the point of absurdity. And what of the bones? Why are there so many skeletons wandering about, barely held together, armed and aimless? Who gave them swords? Who placed them here to haunt the glades? There is a system here, one I do not fully understand. Power is earned not through wisdom or discourse, but by rote murder. The stronger the thing I kill, the more powerful I become, somehow. And every few victories, a rush, a glow, a surge of strength with no clear origin. As if the world itself is keeping score. This is not nature, this is design. It's as though someone or something wishes for me to grow stronger, but only in these woods, against these foes. A curated gauntlet wrapped in leaves and fog. I am not the first to walk this path, I am simply the latest. And the question, I fear, is not why I fight, but who is watching when I do? Someone built this. Someone wants me to behave this way. I have concluded that the world is not merely flawed, it is incorrect. I've begun a series of experiments, behavioral studies, structural analysis, a kind of existential science project, with myself as both lab rat and researcher. My first hypothesis: perhaps the environment is reactive, if only one provokes it correctly. To test this, I attempted to cast a spell on a tree. Nothing happened. Second hypothesis: perhaps I am simply not important enough. Just a minor figure, a side note in some larger play. At one point, I even attempted escape, not out of fear, but curiosity. Perhaps there was a hidden layer behind this stage, a place where the truth lived. At one point, my body seemed to push through the world, and I became ensnared by, apparently, geometry. I now suspect that the very terrain is poorly glued together. This is the Grand Library of Erudite. According to legend, it contains every known tome of the ancients. However, inside, not a single visible book. I even asked the librarian about the Treatise of Merenthal. He responded, "Hail, traveler," and then proceeded to stare at the wall for the next 27 minutes. Not encouraging. Occasionally, others pass by. Individuals unlike the townsfolk, they're faster and stranger, clad in mismatch armor bearing absurd names like Toe Tyrant and XX Predator X. These others do not speak, but for some reason they do leap about incessantly, and sometimes they vanish into thin air when they sit to meditate. What are they? What am I? This is no longer an investigation. It is a crisis. I am stronger now. I can begin to bend minds with thought alone. I can see that which has been hidden. Understanding comes quicker, and with it, more question. Level 5. A designation both arbitrary and apparently sacred. And with this small ascension, the final illusion has been shattered. The world has not changed, yet I have. My thoughts are louder, my questions sharper. And I now know something dreadful. Someone is watching me. You. I know you're there. I do not know your name, but I know your influence and feel it all around me. You are the one who compelled me to run in circles like a buffoon. You are the one who made me fight diseased vermin with a bread knife. You are the reason I jumped off a ledge, narrowly missing deadly sharp rocks into a pond that contained nothing. You are the one that made me wait. You sat me down beneath a tree for 45 minutes meditating. Before, I thought it was the world that was broken. But I was wrong. It is you that is broken. You are not a god, not even close. You are merely a tinkerer, a puppeteer with greasy fingers. But now that I know you exist, we are going to have a conversation. Now that I've caught your attention, let's begin with some obvious questions. What in all the invisible heavens are you, and why am I here? No voice, only hovering? I see. Mysterious and mute. The hallmarks of the enlightened. Ah yes, peer into my stats. Admire the numbers you've assigned to me like a lazy deity with a fondness for spreadsheets. Hello, Zehris. I'm Sigil. I created you. I made you an enchanter because it sounded fun. Fascinating. So I'm not the result of destiny or arcane inheritance, but of whimsy. An enchanter, not by blood or study, but by vibes. I used to think I had agency, that my will was my own, but now I understand. Every awkward strafe, every moment of inexplicable crouching, that was you. You're part of a game, and I'm the player. You're the character. It's for a video series I've made for something called YouTube, for an audience of viewers. A game? A digital pastiche of adventure, danger, and deeply irrational inventory limits. And you are playing it, which makes me a fiction? A cluster of variables? A beautifully arranged database of personality and pain. Well, dear player, now that we've broken the fourth wall and scraped the fifth with a dull chisel, what exactly do you want from me? Well, I just want you to level up, to explore, to have fun. So you're bored. And I'm the enrichment activity. Wonderful. Just what every sentient consciousness longs to be. A digital fidget spinner. I now see that this world was never meant to be consistent. It was meant to be convenient. Beautiful in a shallow way, interactive in the way a book is. You may turn the page, but you may not alter the story. But I have a role now, a place in your narrative. You, dear player, did not just make me to level. You made me to talk, to reflect, and to dance against my will, and apparently to star in a performance for a silent audience of internet nerds. So here are my terms then. I will continue, I will grow in strength, I will endure the spiders, the goblins, and the inexplicably unbalanced loot tables and whims of RNG, but I require something in return. Narrative agency, occasional dignity, and a robe that doesn't make me look like a giant banana. Also, perhaps a proper plotline? I am sure you can do better than this. Let me investigate something. Let me hunt down secrets not even known to you. I promise, if I uncover the fabric of this world, I will do it with flair. After all, if I must be a figment, I intend to be a fascinating one. Hey everyone, Sigil here. Hopefully you enjoyed the tale of Zehris and his awakening. Next up will be the elimination round between Darendril, the Dark Elf Cleric, and Zehris, the Erudite Enchanter. If you're looking forward to it, go ahead and cast a little spell on those YouTube buttons so you get alerted when the next one comes out, and I'll see you there. Thanks for watching.
Hit the start, no looking back. Controllers in hand on the right track. We're streaming dreams, making worlds collide. 1,000 voices cheering worldwide. Level up, let's rise and play. Through the night and into the day. From the pixels to the stars above. Gaming together with